So Twitter's been a bit of a buzz recently, all about Titanfall. Everyone's been talking about Titanfall and about the news we got directly from the source at Respawn Entertainment regarding the online experience with Titanfall. We've been told that the maximum player count is 6 versus 6, and there's also going to be quite a hefty AI interaction inside the multiplayer, which has sort of got people ringing alarm bells a little bit. For a start, people are thinking that 6v6 is not going to be an adequate size player count for a game like Titanfall, and people are worried that perhaps the AI is just a replacement for the human players that the developers can't incorporate into the game. Now, I'm hopefully going to come here today to reassure you on these facts. If you're wondering why there's Battlefield 4 in the background, basically with the new content ID system, I'm not sure where I stand in terms of using things like trailers or gameplay that's been shown on other sources. So to make sure I keep myself covered, I've just gone for simple Battlefield 4 gameplay, only using what I own. I don't want to get into trouble. But I'm going to start by talking about the AI, and they have released a statement themselves at Respawn Entertainment saying that the AI in Titanfall are not just replacements for those human players. They're saying that the player count isn't 6v6 as a direct result of the AI, and the AI will actually play their own role in the game, and they're a different class of character to what you can play as. So the AI aren't just there to bolster the fact that there's 6 versus 6. Regardless of the player count, there was always going to be that AI incorporated into the game. They've also reassured us by saying they decided on 6v6 by actually playing the game and choosing the player count that worked best for the game and made it more fun and a better online experience. So they have done the work into making sure they pick the right player count. Now, the reason I think 6v6 is going to be really good for the game is for a few things. Firstly, when I was just a console gamer, not a console and PC gamer, I played a lot of Gears of War. Now, Gears of War is 5 versus 5 online. And regardless of the fact that those are quite small teams, it's still a great online experience and still very much hectic when it needs to be. And it's all about the way the developers design the map around the player count. And so as long as the map has been optimised for a 6 versus 6 game, you can still expect that fast-paced, hectic online first-person shooter environment that we're all craving. Also, you've got to remember you've got the Titans in there as well, which is really going to make a game a bit crazy. As soon as someone gets a Titan, that's it, everyone's going to be running at it and trying to take it down. Another reason I think it's great is you've got to consider the fact that 6 is probably about the right size for a squad. So if you jumped into a game of Battlefield, obviously 5's the limit, but let's say you've got a group of 6 going into a Battlefield 4 server. You can be the best squad in the world on Battlefield, but if the rest of your team is just shoving the thumbs up their arses and running around looking at pretty water and pretty trees, you're not really going to have as big an impact on the game as you would hope, and you can still lose the game. With Titanfall, you're going to be able to have a much bigger impact on the game because you'll be 1/6 of your team, so you're going to be a very significant part of your team. So it's a game where you're going to be able to have a lot of impact on the game. So if you get 5 friends together, that's a full team, and you can just pretty much negotiate how your team plays, and you only need a small number of people to be able to do this. Obviously, if you jumped into a 64-man server, the 6 of you aren't going to be able to really negotiate how your entire team plays, and if you've got people camping on a building, you can't do much about it. So that's the advantage of a small team. You can have more control, much more control, over how the round goes and the outcome. So you're going to be able to have a much bigger player impact. Also with small teams, this could also result in probably a smoother online experience because you've got to think that they've probably considered the network experience when determining the player count and made sure they give the best possible player count regarding how the players interact and how the game performs online in terms of response between one player and another. So with a lower number of players, there's less to process. So we can probably hope that this will result in a much smoother online experience because of that lower player count. But basically the main thing that should reassure you is the fact that there have been plenty of people who've already got their hands on Titanfall, and they've all come back and said that it is absolutely brilliant and they're really looking forward to it. They've said they played 6 versus 6 and everything worked perfectly. There was no need for other players to be in there. 6 versus 6 felt like the perfect balance. And no one really knows fully what to expect, so Titanfall has the ability to surprise us and really win us all over. So don't let the 6 versus 6 player count put you off. It's been picked for a reason and probably makes the game a much better experience. They've made sure they get the player count right, and quantity does not always mean quality. As long as the game is optimised for a 6 versus 6 game, you can probably find yourselves having a lot of fun with Titanfall. So I really hope you enjoyed this little summary. I hope it's reassured you. If you've got anything you'd like to say, please leave it in the comment section below. Hit like. But in the meantime, you guys take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you all very soon.